Good morning and welcome to another edition of Outsider Genie, where we will be looking at racing today, 9th of September, from the Grey World Poly Track. Before we look at the betting and the fields, just one or two things I would like to touch on. First of all, for those persons who are watching this preview for the first time, what Outsider Genie do is we do a form analysis. We are not tipsters, we form analysis, and then we find outsiders that then we give to punters, and then the punters can use this outsiders to put into whatever play they have in terms of their PAs, jackpots, whatever play they favor. They add our selections to their numbers. Hopefully, when the outsider selection do arrive, they will be able to stand in a queue, collecting the money, laughing and thanking Outsider Genie for providing them with that outsider. This preview is sponsored by Meerkat online auctions, which I will tell you about a little bit later, about more about Meerkat online auctions a little bit later. If you want to subscribe to this channel to get our videos every day, just click on the subscribe now button, ring the bell, and then you will be notified every day that we post our free video. We are also available on Twitter, Instagram, and our contact details, WhatsApp or phone number 083-585-5133. Let's quickly look at some feedback. Yesterday at Kenilworth, there wasn't a day with a lot of outsiders, but there were two outsiders that came with that was a bit longer priced. In race 5, number 7, Miss Ladi Da. Opening betting was 7-1, but there was late money for the horse, and the horse eventually jumped at 4-1. And then we gave you race 6, number 8, Miss DeRay. That horse went start to finish. As we said in our preview, he was carrying a lightweight and a very dangerous horse, and he duly arrived at 14-1. Then we have some special offers for you. Our normal package is 500 per month. If you sign up now, then you'll get the selections till end of September for 350 Rand. And then a very special offer, the summer season is starting in Gauteng. So if you want a special package, we'll get it for you from September to end of November at half price. So where that 3 month package would have cost you 1,500, now you can get it for only 750 Rand. Then we also do, we give you if you subscribe to our daily form analysis, you get a race by race selections, outright winner, and 2 possible outsider selections. You get value based bets that you can play each way. And I would say the strike rate on our value bets is about 70%. And if they don't win, then they normally run a place. So even if you play them each way, you can still make some money. In the best bet of the day, we don't give you odds on. I mean, I don't give you a 10 to even money or 8 to 10 shot. You can find that yourself. You don't need Outsider Genie for that. But what we do is we try and give you the best bet, which is a value for best bet. And even sometimes our best bet you can play each way, you will still make a bit of money. The other day, I think during the week, I gave another 6-1 that ran second, was paying 250 a place. So we also give you a suggested trifecta and quartet selections, which you can play as is or use some of those numbers, add your numbers in and play accordingly. And the same for the PA and the pick 6. We give you suggestion selections. You can add to that. You can use some of them as you see fit to play. You can mix and match as it suits you. You will then receive the selections like this on a 1 page every day, where you will then have all the, oops-a-daisy, let me just quickly fix this quickly for you so that you can see. Right, there you go. So it will be a 1 page like that, and all the selections is there, our race by race selections, pick 6, PA, quartet, trifecta, your value bet and your base bet, and then we also give you a small patent that you can play for fun. If it comes, you're going to collect a few rand. If it doesn't, you're not going to put the house on that. So let's now move on to the racing, where we're racing from Hollywood Bets, Greyville, and here we have a look at the first race, which is a maiden plate over 1,400 meters. Let's have a look at the betting first. Here we have a strong favorite, number 1, Ferrari Ice, 9 to 10. This first time a race, Hallelujah at 7-2. Mistral Dance, Master Dance at 10 to 1. Cool Answer 10 to 1. Montana Sky 12 to 1. Guys, this is a reserve coming in, but I think this must be a mistake. That horse can't be 10 to 1. The form doesn't suggest that. And as far as I know, they can only have 12 runners in this race, and they have had 1 scratching. So, yeah, I'm not sure. You just need to check that. I'm just mentioning it. Montana Sky 12 to 1. Bring Back the Money 12 to 1. Alada Sprite 12 to 1. Please know this is a reserve that came in, and it definitely has got a good has got a chance. It will be drawn 8 because it is in place of YLS, and that's why I can't see number 14 Cool Answer running, because he's reserved number 2, but there's only 1 scratching. So you just need to check that, please. That might be a mistake. Sorry, Over Debate 10 to 1. Let's Go Fly 53 to 1. High Ball 53, 50 to 1, and Longer the Rest. So let's have a look at the betting. Yeah, here you have your favorite number 1, which is a very strong favorite. But if you go through the form in this race, you'll see the form is not that strong. This horse has run over this distance, came second behind Willow Express. Willow Express ran in the future, although it didn't future that much. I don't know what happened behind the gun last time out, and that is just a little bit of a concern for me. But now the horse is back on the poly, so let's give it another chance. But I can please, I warn you, do not put your house on Ferrari eyes. The form doesn't suggest that it can be an even money horse. And this field is as such that there can be horses that can improve suddenly. So be careful, play with care. Number 2, Angela's Flame, is an Irish Flame. You know, they put it over longer distances. Now bringing it back over the 1400 meters, maybe one to include in your quartets. Number 2. Then we have number, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go way down. You can see the form in this race is not very strong. Wiley's Lass is scratched, number 9. I want to move to number 10, Montana Sky. Montana Sky have had some decent runs on the poly, although drawn 10, but getting the -2.5. Last time out was a reserve, so it didn't run, but it has improved and has not been too far behind the winner. And I would definitely say, looking at this, at the form of this horse, I think this horse can give the favorite a good run for his money. Forget that there's an ex-Kimberley horse. That is, you look at the current form here, and the current form suggests, if you look at the rest of the field, then Montana Sky has got some better form than some of the other horses. Then I said to you, we have to look here at number 13, Elado Sprite. Only had 1 run, but it ran on well, 24.2. Second fastest 400 meters over the 1400 poly. Lyle Hewitson now riding, so definitely include it's by Dynasty Mare. Yeah, really well on the dam side. I'm not so sure about the sire. He hasn't thrown many winners, but that's fought for another day. So that is then race 1 that we finish with race 1. So let's now move on to race number 2. Race number 2 is also a maiden plate over 1400 meters. Let's have a look at the betting on race number 2. The betting on race number 2, number 7, Higher Purpose 12 to 10, El Toro 7 to 2, Arctic Tune 11 to 2. It's a first timer. Tenacious Time 7 to 1, Arctic Refuge 16 to 1, and 25 to 1, and Longer the Rest. So let's go down here to number 6. You'll see here is the favorite is number 7, Higher Purpose. It's a person get rich out of a Besran Mare. This horse has had 1 run, and it looks like his horse was back from 9 to 1 to 14 to 10, but it didn't really show. It ran 23.7, 4 fastest 400. She's here bumped and so on. Now, to me, I'm flabbergasted to see that this horse is actually in favorite. Because if I look at the form of number 6, El Torero, this form looks to me a little bit stronger. in terms of you look at this horse, okay, there's 1,000 meters, but I think if you look at the breeding, I don't think this horse will have a problem going to 1,400 meters. And this horse ran not a really decent race, finishing just over 2 lengths behind on a high note, and it ran 22.4, 400 to finish. Which is not bad, although they say one pace. I mean, I can't see how you can be one pace if you do 22.4. So I do believe number 6, El Toro, has got that little bit more stronger form. And then also you can have a look at number 5, Arctic Refuge. Arctic Refuge, captain of L by Weston Wenton Meer. Last time over the 1,400 behind Fight Song. Okay, was 6 lengths behind, but it was up there. It just faded a little bit. Maybe it just needed that one more run, and now drawn 5. And I do believe Arctic Refuge will also run a forward race. So that's what horses I wanted to look at in race number 2. There's not much left. There's not much on the form on the other horses. So let's move on to race number 3, which is another maiden plate over 1,400 meters for fillies and mares. Let's have a look at the betting. And here the betting is as follows. Number 1, in Inogen, even money, Purple Moon's up 4-1, Hard Belt 11-2, Laurel Lane 11-1, 14-1, Umzanduzi 16-1, Capulet's Heart 16-1, Riverside 25-1, and longer. Now, guys, in this race today, I'll be really rooting for Jared Rack to get his first winner. He's a nice guy. He works hard, young man. He tries his best. Come from Kimberley, but here's somebody, this Mr. Caldini, gave him a decent horse that he can run with. And thank you to Mr. Caldini for supporting Jared. And I really hope Anton Marcus can bring this one home. It's even money. I don't like to tip even money, but I mean, I think if you look at the form in this race, Inogen definitely today must have a very big chance. Outsiders that we want to look at a little bit is number 4, Act of War. Frank Robinson won with an Act of War the other day, and I made such a big mistake. I was looking at the horse, and for some other reason, that horse ran like 22 something in his last race, 400 to finish, and I missed that, because if I saw that, surely I would have then tipped the horse to my members. But yeah, that's things that happens. And here we have another Act of War. I think this Act of War is a bit of a dark style, and I do think that some of these horses is gonna run well. Maybe just take a little bit of time. But here we have an Act of War by Al Mufti Me. Now, if you like a look at this, this horse didn't show much on his, but what always draws my attention is this. I always look at 400 to finish, 23.3 second, and it was hanging out. Now it's getting -4. I'm sure number 4, Umzunduzi, and the betting on him is like 14-1, is going to run a great race. And I don't say it can beat number 1, but it's not without a prayer. So do include that in your bets. Then other horses that we can look at here is number 6, Arbel, has had some, decent races there and thereabouts. I think this horse is improving, and I do think that the longer distance, the 1,400 meters, will suit this horse better if I look at the breeding, drawn 6, Dylan riding. So it's also a horse that you need to put into your calculation. Another horse that you must put into your calculation in quartets is Capulet's Heart. It's a Toreador by Mutafal Me, and this one will always up there, no finish. I think the 1,400 meter will suit him better. So all in all, a very interesting race. I really root for number 1, but there are horses that can beat it. So do make sure you include those horses in your play. You can also include number 7, Purple Moon's Up. Also had a decent debut run. So I think you would be looking in your quartets around about, including 1, 5, 6, and 7. And maybe also, I do see that I have got the number 3 in as well. Let's just quickly have a look at number 3. Number 3 is Laurel Lane. Laurel Lane, why did I pick this one? J pick by Second Empire. Yeah, I see this was there and thereabouts on the 1,400 now. First time on the poly, J pick. Yeah, if you can afford it, put into your quartet selections. So let's move on to race number 4. We have another maiden plate, but now over 1700 meters. So let's have a look there. Here we have the favorite number 5, better than the rest, 11 to 10, 5 to 2, Redeemers, 11 to 2, the goal, Mounted Warrior, 10 to 1, Soldier Door, 10 to 1, 12 to 1, Jack in the Box, 25 to 1, Lunar Prospective, and 33 to 1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look at race number 4. So here, race number 4, I was going to scroll down a little bit. My selection is number 7, Lyle Hewitson on the goal. It's a version Getorix, 4-year-olds by Tiger Reach, has been there thereabouts, and has had some decent runs, 25.2, second fastest 400. There it was also second fastest, made late progress, and I'm sure the 1700 meters would suit him. He is drawn 7, and I do believe in with a huge chance. Number 8, Sonia Dor, you can include in your quartets. He always runs there and thereabouts, already a 4-year-old. Ideal World by Ford with me. Has had some decent places. Also a horse that you cannot leave out of your calculations. And also number 6, Mounted Warrior, a Coup of Cra. I really like that breeding outcome. Was a very good mare. This horse is improving, and the 1700 will suit. Do please include in all your bets. Then let's have a look at number 5. Better than the rest. Marcus on board, drawn 5, ran a nice race behind the Gone last time out. Second fastest 400 to finish, 11th at 400 meters. So also the horse where the 1700 meters would suit. So that's race number 4. Let's move on to race number 5. Race number 5 is another maiden plate over 2,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 5, Legend has it at 18 to 10. Pinch Me 28 to 10. Mallow 7 to 2. Girl from Ipanema 10 to 1. Faithful Mistress 10 to 1. 14 to 1. Exclusive Grace 25 to 1. And longer the rest. So here, let's have a look at race number 5. Okay, I want to go down to number 3. I want to go down to number 3 here. Mallow, it's an Irish Flame by a Gabool mare and going for 2,000 meters for the first time. This horse has been running decent races over shorter distance. I do believe the 2,000 meters will be up his alley, and I'll swear this horse will be there when the photos are taken. Warren Kennedy for Gavin Van Zyl Jr., definitely a potent combination. Then we have the favorite here, Legend has been running well. Also, I think the 2,000 meters by Flower Alley by Rakeem Mare would also suit. Ran on well last time out behind Miss Maria Carolina. Definitely in with a chance. I think the biggest danger to both of these horses is going to be number 7, and that's Girl from Ipanema. Has a table change, getting the -4, already a 4-year-old, so it has got a weight advantage. This horse has not run the 2,000 meters, but by Noble Tune out of a Jared May, Jeremiah Beach was also a horse that ran in longer distances. The 2,000 will definitely suit, and I do think 7 Girl from Ipanema, definitely a huge runner in this race, currently at 10 to 1. So that is my selections for race number 4. Let's move on to race number 5. Let's move on to race number 6. Oh yes, there's another horse here. Just please include number 10, Excessive Grace. This horse has run places. Also has run over the 2,000 meters for 3 thirds and a 4th. Definitely a horse you need to put into your quartet selections, and if you can put into your quartets. I do see that a few horses, older horses, has won lately, because normally at this year, the time of the year, the 4-year-olds has got a little bit of advantage, weight advantage over the 3-year-olds. Now we're going to have a look at race number 6. It's a Frizz Mares handicap, and before we look at race number 6, I just want to touch again, come back to my thing about Meerkat. Now, Meerkat is an online platform. They do online auctions, and on the 15th of October, Meerkat online auctions, we're going to have the first ever fractional ownership auction in South Africa for the horses in training. What that means is that you will be able to buy shares into horses, 10% or 20% or whatever the trainer offers. So for the first time in South Africa, you can now also, as in the normal punter, man in the street, can also become involved in horse racing and buy a small share in a racehorse. If you can't afford on your own, get a few friends together, and we will help you. We will put together a package, or work out something for you, so that you, as a collective group, can then bid on the auction, and between you, maybe buy a share of 10 or 20% in a decent racehorse. So please contact us on this number, 061 231 0193. If you are interested in buying a share, you put your reference as ownership. If you are currently a racehorse owner or a trainer and you're looking to sell a share in some of your horses that you've got in your stable, then you contact us and just use your reference share. Please, let's support this and get you guys involved into racing. I can tell you from my own experience, there's nothing that beats the feeling if you stand there and your horse goes past the winning post with your colors on. It doesn't matter whether you own 10% or 100%, the feeling stays the same. Let's look at the betting for race number 6. Race number 6, the betting is number 2, Voice of Reason, 28 to 10, Sylvia Magic, 72, under double, 5 to 1, Jackson Wells, 5 to 1, Song of the Forest, 11 to 2, Someone Exciting, 12 to 1, and Connect Me, 12 to 1, 16 to 1, and longer the rest. So if you just want to make sure, we're looking at the Class C at the average merit rating of 81. That's race number 6. So let's go down to my selection to win this race. And my selection to win this race is number 7, Song of the Desert. Now, as we said, we're looking at a merit rating of 81. But now, if you have a look at this horse has run against some decent horses. Last time out, he ran in an 88. Now we're running in an 81. So it's a little bit down in class. And before that, he ran on 82. And here he won an 83 1400 meters, running on from behind, ran on well. It's getting the -2.5, and I do believe that this May 5-year-old me will be there when the photos are taken, and definitely my selection to win this race. Has won some nice races last year around about this time, and I do believe that today it can go in again. In other selections in this race, we can have a look at is number 9, Connect Me. Connect Me hasn't won for a while, 399 days, but there was a time which she won quite a few races in short succession, and since has been running in stronger opposition, Escape Club out of double, on the double, and last time out over the 1700 meters, showed some pace just to stop over the last few meters, and the same happened in the race before that. In her third race behind Perfect Air, she ran over the 1600 meters, which was, I think, more her distance, and she ran to Perfect Air 0.05 in a average merit rate of 87. And I do think Connect Me is due for another win. Here we have number 9, Sylvia Magic, one of the favorites, also running well. Nothing wrong with her form, and can definitely be involved in the finish. I want to scroll up a little bit. Here we have the favorite, Voice of Reason. Voice of Reason is Silvano, it's very well bred. This Valdivina has thrown some very, very well-bred horses that has run well. This horse has just won its maiden in January, now coming off a 235 days race. And please, Gavin Van Sale and Warren Kennedy, a very good combination. Gavin Van Sale, a very good trainer. But I do feel that this horse might just need this run. So not a horse without a chance. Normally, I prefer horses to have had 1 or 2 runs after their maiden win. So let's see what happens there. But definitely not a banker. On the double, -2.5. Also has had some decent form. Did ran behind Son of the Forest with Guys, sorry, yeah, I just lost my signal for a moment. Unfortunately, I'm in the hands of Telkom, and I'm not going to elaborate on that. Just to repeat, race 7, my first choice here is number 1, Buckleberry, has run against some decent opposition, Kelder, Van Halen, and it's my choice to go in again. And then, as I said, also Mount Anderson has got a chance. Number 5, Quinte has won last race, can improve. Frank Lloyd right. I said I'm not sure where this horse is in terms of its ability and training. That had some good runs in Cape Town, but then lost some form. So a horse that one has to watch, not the horse that you would bank in. And then I was moving down to number 7, Amor Adiante. Now this horse carrying 62.5 -4. But this horse in his time has run against some decent opposition. Here we got Marching Together, True Foods, Gigi's Dynasty, Black Ball, Born to Perform, The Dazzler, Gigi's Dynasty. Now look at it, 95, 103, and this horse is 40 to 1. I don't know what happened last time, the last 2 runs, so it says restless, but maybe, Mr. Barnos and his sister can get it right. And definitely, this is a horse, a 40 to 1 shot that definitely, with the -4, can have the ability to win this race. So include in all your bets. Then we want to move to race number 8, which is a 1400-meter Class C, merit rating 73. Let's have a look at the betting. The betting is as follows. Okay, the betting is as follows. Number 7, Futuristic Dame, 33 to 10, 6 to 1, in Ice Imperial. Persepius, 6 to 1, At Your Request, 7 to 1, Alfonso Babe, 7 to 1, Somewhere in Time, 7 to 1, 8 to 1, Mumtaz, 16 to 1, Annika the Angel, and 16 to 1, Ariana Spinner, 21 to 1, and longer the rest. So here in race 8, my first selection is as follows. I'm going to go down here to number 12. Somewhere in time, also getting the -4. Unfortunately, drawn from 12, but I've seen in the poly that sometimes it's not that big of a concern. Now, this horse is currently running it's now running in a 73, but I do feel that the -4 can bring this horse in contention. Has had some decent races in the Cape Town. Third runaway, won again. Miss Florida ran a future, won a future. That was the Alan Robertson. So this horse was deemed good enough to run in the Alan Robinson. Then it ran behind third runway, although way behind. That one again, Sun, and then it ran in the big future behind Invada, that special race. But I do feel somewhere in time, Justin Snape must think a little bit of this horse, and if the -4 somewhere in time can and surprise. Let's look at some other horses in this race. Number 8, Alfonso Baby. I do fancy that. Warren Kennedy hasn't run too bad in his first races after maiden. And when the Whitehead stable, always a dangerous stable. They can come up on you when you didn't expect it the least. Here we got number 5, At Your Request. Dean Kannemeyer also getting some winners, as won a maiden also 2 runs ago, but didn't run too bad after the maiden and can go in again over this 1400 meters. Anika the Angel is now with Cliffy Miller, ex-Kimberley, has won his maiden last time out. So what's with improvement? This horse is relatively well bred and decently bred and can surprise. Let's move down to race number 9. Race number 9 is a Finish Amir 82 handicap over 1200 meters, and here's the betting as follows. Number 1, Extravagant 28 to 10, Blush of Dawn 72, Flashy Katerina 92, Lady Legend 6 to 1, 10 to 1, Marizan 13 to 1, 12 to 1, Real Therapy, and 14 to 1, and longer the rest. I'm not going to dwell too long on this race because I see the time is catching up with us. It's getting a little bit long. Here, my fancy is number 8. Number 8 being Blush of Dawn. Lyle Hewitson. And this horse has run well. One is maiden well, and then 2 runs back ran Susie Wu. Last time ran second behind Double Express. This horse finished well, and I do feel that number 8, Blast of Dawn, in this race will be a huge runner. Other horses that you can look at is number 6, which is Lady Legend, getting the -4. Also, a horse that has run against some stronger imposition before. Now also running down in a bit of class. This race is a 79, and here it's running an 88s, 83s, 97s. So definitely Lady Legend also in with a chance. And then one more horse I want to look at, and then that will conclude our thing, is number 2, Marzani, Muzieni on board. I've been following this horse for a while now. It keeps on disappointing me, but I feel this horse has got the ability, has wrong. I mean, if you look here, ran in a merit rated 100, 98. You know, has run against far stronger than he'll ever meet. I don't know what went wrong here, slow no show, but do number 12, Marizan, do give her another chance, and I do believe that she can be a factor in this race. So that concludes then our preview for today. I hope you're going to make a lot of money. And as I always say, break